Hi everyone, and welcome to the final part of the caravan repair, rip out and repair. And today is the day. Today is the day where I get everything in. The seals have arrived, the framing's built, the window frames are built, the frame for the shelf is built. I've just got to add a couple of 45s underneath the shelf to support the door when we screw that back onto the finishing shelf. And then I've got to crack on with fitting that and then fit the window frames. Rip off all the old sealant from on the outside, use some sticky adhesive removal for that, and a good old rag, that'll do that nicely, and a good old sharp knife as well, that helps as well. But today is the day and I have got to crack on, so I'm going to catch you in the next part of the video. So this is the frame I built the other day. This is to support the windowsill. You can see that down there. I built it out of, I think it was 25mm by 30mm pieces of timber. Really good stuff, really strong. It's all glued and screwed. So I'm just going to go and put that in that gap over there, and I'll see you in a few minutes. So I've just got the frame for the shelf there held in securely with 2 quick clamps that I purchased off Amazon. So far these are really good, they haven't let me down. I'm just going to use this, my mallet, and I'm just going to even it up and get it flush with the edge, so I can then offer up the windowsill and then take off the big plaster off the front of the caravan, take down the door, the big white door there that you can see, the hinge for it. I'm going to take that off, and that's when I'll come in from the outside and I'll mark up the door, the hinge for the door on the bottom of the windowsill, and we'll take it from there. So I'll see you in a few minutes. So this is it, this is the moment where I'm going to cut the plaster off. Nervous as shit if I'm honest, because once this comes off I haven't got another one. Right, so I'll see you in a few minutes. So just a quick one, guys. I've just pulled the plaster off the front of the caravan, and you get all of this crappy old sealant adhesive crap that's on there. It's horrible. I mean, it's sticky as shit and it gets everywhere. The best way I've found to remove it is scrape off the most of it with a flat knife like that, as flat as you can get, and then use some sticky label adhesive remover. So I'm back, everyone. I'm just going to remove all the sticky shite, and this is the stuff I'm using today. It's sticky label remover, penetrates and dissolves adhesives. This is really good stuff. I've got about half a can here in this one, and I've got another 2 cans in the shed, so I should be fine. Along with that and a bit of elbow grease, I should be fine. Hi everyone, I know you can't really see it here because there's none left really. I've scraped it all off, but we all had our suspicions that this right hand window had been leaking before. It has been leaking before, and someone has repaired it in the past, but they've done a poor job on it simply because the sealant they've used at the top was completely a different colour to the sealant around the middle window, and the left hand window over there was a completely different colour. That was grey, the one on the left hand window and the one on the middle, and this one was white. I never noticed it when I first got to the caravan back at the fishery when it was leaking. I never noticed it, but yeah, that's our suspicion, and it's now confirmed. Someone has tried to repair this before in the past, and the sealant was shite basically. Right everyone, back after quite a lot of work been done so far. I've cleaned all the window sills, as you can see, all the window edges. All of these are nice and clean now, all the old adhesive is off. I'm going to give another wipe over before I stick the new ones on. The windowsill is now in situ, it's in solid, it's not going anywhere. I've test fitted it, it fits lovely. But I'm just going to skip the camera around so you can see the work I've done underneath inside there. So I've just spun the camera around, and this is what I've done up here. You can see that I've made a big old frame. There's the frame now, and it's got sorry, the sunlight blocked it out there. That's the big frame that runs right the length of the width of the caravan, sorry, right the width. And there's the 45-degree supports. There's 4 of them. There's one there, one there, one there, and one there. And then the door goes in the middle here. That'll get screwed to the top of the shelf in a few minutes when my little nephew comes back out with a nice cold drink. Thanks for turning up, Leon. Thanks for your help, mate. Really needed it today, but we've still got lots to do, mate. Anyway, that's what I'm doing. I'm just waiting for the boy to come back out with me drink, and then we're going to fit this door. So I'll see you in a few minutes once the door's fitted. Here he is, the boy, or one of them. Say hello.
Yeah.
Oh, you got no shy.
I know.
Anyway, for those who are watching, this is Leon, this is my nephew. He's helping me today, I need his help. So he's going to take off the door panel for the front of the caravan, which you can see over there. He's going to take that off so we can then attach the hinge for the door back to the underboard inside there. So once he's done that, and we've got the hinge back on, I'll come back to you with a different part of the video. So we're just, you can't quite hear me because he's got Soren over there. I've got my brother with me today. I'm just offering up the window frames now, and I just need to chamfer off for the block plane. I just need to chamfer off a bit at the corner there, like so, just like that, just to make it fit snug into its seat. So I'll see you in a few minutes when I've done that. Today we've got a lot done today. We've got the window frames in, they're fully in, screwed at the top, each one's done so. We've got plastic, we've got the aluminium brackets back in on the bottom of the windows. It's been a heck of a job, if I'm honest, I'm not going to lie to you. It's been a bit of a ball ache on a few days, you know, ripping out all the old mouldy crap and stuff. But the new timber frame's in. It's not the prettiest of work, but when the plywood goes in, that's going to hide all that, and it's going to be painted and it'll look nice in the end. I've just got the two end frames to build and put in now, and then we're going to put the window seals in. Today has been fantastic. We've got a lot done today, and I wouldn't have got it done if it wasn't for my brother and my little nephew. So thanks for coming, guys. Thank you very much. You've been a big help today, but we've got more to do, so let's crack on. Anyway, right, okay, so we've put God, that sun's bright. Put the plywood up. I think it was Robbie Pierce, I think his name was, who said to do the windows in one each at a time. So we put that one in. You can't really see me. Put that one in with the plywood on. We actually done it all as one plywood window. We had one big piece of plywood. We cut the windows out. We put them in. We screwed them on. We tried putting it up on the wall, and it was a fucking nightmare, if I'm honest. So thanks for the advice, Robbie. We then cut a line down the gap of each window, and that's made it a lot easier and a lot quicker. You can see we've got 1 and 2 in already. The seals on there. I was a little bit nervous about putting the seals on there. Don't know why. Maybe it's just because it's my first time. But it's going on great. So for those who have got the Eldis Aurora Caravan, a little bit of advice for you, or if you're going to buy one, I think it was pre-2008 model and right up to 2008, what they used to do is when they'd screw in from the back, the window rack at the front, the window rail, they screwed in straight through the fiberglass, and that caused the fiberglass to crack, and that's probably where your water's been coming in from ever so slowly, and over the years it's just rotted away your screws or the wood behind your screws. That is if your window seals don't go, but that was one of the causes for a leaky front end on an Eldis Aurora Caravan. But yeah, that was half of the problem, was the cracks in the fiberglass. I've sealed all those up. I'm not going to say that I've sealed those up, to be honest with you, I keep that to myself. But anyway, they're all sealed up. You can buy something called Silglass tape, but at £43 a roll, there was no way. I was telling the mother-in-law it was £43 a roll, and you're talking a roll no bigger than that thick. So, you know, £43 for a roll of that is just not worth it in my eyes, not at all. Not when there's other ways of sealing the holes, and they're only tiny small holes and cracks anyway. So I spoke to a lot of other caravanners who have got other caravans, not the Eldis Aurora model, but they have got other caravans, and they've said, yeah, do this, try this, and it'll work fine. They haven't had any problems yet. Forgive me grinning or whatever it is. The sun is quite bright up there, but as you can see, we've got 2 windows in with seals, and they're all solid, and the gap is closed up nicely, which I was quite nervous about, but that's closed up nicely. We're about to do the 3rd and final one, and then I think it's time to get the window rails for outside, get them all screwed up, measured up, screwed in, put the windows in, and then put the plastic bag over the front for tonight. And then tomorrow we'll come back and we'll take the plastic bag off, and I think I'll just spray it down with the hose. I'll spend about half an hour out here with the hose, just spraying it from all different angles. That should give any kind of water enough time to either seep down the seal or seep down any screw holes and leak basically, and you shouldn't see any leaks on this windowsill or on any kind of paper that I put down on the floor. Anyway, I'm going to crack back to it because we haven't got long left, and I'll see you in the next video. Right, morning. Back at it again for another day. But there's the good news. I got the windows on yesterday, just before the rain. So this is the view from the inside. Still a bit messy and everything. Still got a lot of cleaning up to do and still got a lot to do if I'm honest, but the windows are on, the seals are on. I'm just putting the beadings on. That one went on yesterday. I'm going to put that one on in a minute, and then I'm going to do that one. So that's the second beading, the one in the middle, in the big window. Going in great. It's not that hard, to be honest with you, to put the bead in. You can buy a special tool to make it a little bit easier, but why waste money when I can just make one? I mean, that's a piece of 1.5 by 1 with a nail in the end, and it's simply, I'm just taking the head of the nail, catching it under the rubber and running it along, pulling it along, and it's pushing the bead in no problem, as you can see there. All I'm doing, hopefully if this works, is pushing it under. I can't do it with one hand, I need two hands on it, but you get the idea. That's all I'm doing, is I'm hooking it under the bead, the rubber, pulling it back over the bead, and then just running it around the window, and it's a piece of piss. So I'll see you once I've done this with the window. So there you go, darling mother-in-law. All your windows are on, brand new window seals, brand new window frames. It's all done, all sealed up the top with mastic or Sikaflak or whatever it was called, I can't remember. But it's all done, it's all sealed. It rained last night, it rained like a bitch last night, I don't know whether you heard it. But when I came in this morning, there was no water. There was nothing anywhere, no drips, no runs down the windows or anything at all. So it's all good, it's all worked, it's all fine and dandy, ready for you. So I'm going to go and clean up, tidy up all the windows, make them all nice and clean and shiny again. Give the caravan a quick wash and do the 2 side panels that I've just got to install. So that's it, guys. That's the caravan all done. I've really loved doing this project. It's been a lot of fun, but it's had a few problems, and I like to try and come to a problem and then figure it out and see what I can either do to solve it or make it better. But it's been an absolute blast doing this caravan. I'd like to say a massive thank you to everyone who has helped me out with advice on how to repair the caravan, and also sending me a box of goodies from you guys as well. You know who you are, by the way, so thank you very much. There's been many tools off you guys that have helped me on this job, and also many tools that have been bought by family and friends. I came to one problem on this caravan that really done me head in. I came to one problem, and it was when I went to put these up, actually. It's when I went to put the blinds up. I don't know if you've noticed on the previous panorama video that I've just done on the front end there. The blinds on either side, they were a bit skew-iff, and that was because when I put the new header board in up top there, when I put that in, I didn't realise that I'd have to take that amount off the vertical part of the blinds. And when I did take that amount off, I didn't realise that there were certain catches inside the blind rails here made for the little hooks on the blinds, so that when you pull the blind down and hook it hooks in flat and it keeps the blind flat like that, like the middle one you see in the video there. But the other two are sort of pulling up on one side, so I want to try and figure that out over the next couple of days, see what I can do for that. But yeah, thank you, mother-in-law, for letting me get my hands on your new baby and rip the front end out of it and replace it all new. I put, let me see where I started. So I started off, it was on my driveway, and then I examined it, I had a good look at it, and I thought, where the hell am I going to bloody start? Because if I'm honest, this is my first caravan job, it's my first major joinery job. I had a little bit of a clue, but I didn't have a lot of a clue, so I looked at it and I thought, sod it. If I'm going to do it, let's just jump in. So I jumped in one day and I literally ripped it all out, as you've seen in part 1 of the video. And part 2, I literally ripped it all out, I didn't care. You could see how bad this window was up top in the top corner. You see me poking it with a screwdriver. But it was just, I couldn't believe how bad it was. And when the mother-in-law described to me how bad the water was when it was coming through, I mean, she said she had a bucket under the window, and within half an hour the bucket was half full when it was lashing down up at the caravan site. So I tested that theory, and I did actually stand there with a hose before I'd done any work, and I sprayed the front end, and it pissed in. It literally came in through the gap and it went everywhere. So I thought, right, okay, no worries, at least I know what I'm dealing with now. And then upon pulling all the seals out again, like you see in part 1 there, the seals were absolutely knackered. They've been left there for some time. No one's bothered to check them, no one's bothered to service them or go over the caravan. There's still a few spots on the caravan that I would like to do, but like you said, Pauline, we'll do the front end, see how that goes, and then maybe in a year or so, if the back end's any worse, then we can go over the back end. But let's just see what happens there. Next, what I did was, once I'd ripped out all the framework, I went on the outside and I cleaned out all of the old sealant off the window seals. That it's like grey sealant crap. It's horrible. It gets everywhere. It's sticky as anything. It's just nasty. It's just nasty. But I find an old palette knife, or a sharp, very flat one, one of them old-fashioned bone handle knives. If you can get one of those, that'll scrape it off nicely. Try not to use a Stanley knife though, a Stanley blade, because they're a tad too sharp, and if you angle them at the wrong angle, it digs in and it doesn't leave a nice smooth surface for the new seal adhesive to bond to. So you have to be careful not to use a Stanley blade. But I did all that, scraped it all off. It was all nice and clean. I removed all the rotting wood, the windowsill behind me as well. That had gone, that had all rotted down in this corner, so I took all that off. Again, as you can see in part 1 of the video, I ripped all that out. But I didn't realise that the door for the storage compartment outside actually screwed onto the windowsill. I didn't realise that. So I sat back one day and I thought, bloody hell, how am I going to support this? That windowsill's not going to support the bloody thing. So what I had to do is I had to build a little frame to go under the windowsill, but span the width of the caravan. So I built that and I supported it with 4 45-degree angle supports, as you see in the video. Although I did have to take the 2 centre ones out, because when we put the door on and we went to close it, the springs and the catches catched on those 2 centre 45-degree supports. So I had to take those out. But the shelf is still strong, the windowsill is still strong. The framework is holding that windowsill and it's holding the door, no problem at all. That was the reason why I had to put that frame in there, because if I'd have just put the windowsill in and screwed it into the facer board just below me here where your legs go, and you'd have pulled down on that door, it would never ever have supported. Because what they do is that they have your windowsill here, and then they have the window frame coming up, and then the top of the window here. The top of the window frame is screwed into the top of the window inside, and then at the bottom it's also screwed to the windowsill. So effectively the door's weight is supported by the windowsill, the window frame, and the top of the window where the lights are. Now when I took all that out and put this new windowsill in, I stopped and thought, I can't put that windowsill, I can't put that door screwed onto that windowsill because it will never support it. That's why I had to build that frame. That's why you see that frame on the floor, and that's why I built it and put it there. Anyways, the windows, original window framing was screwed into the bottom of the windowsill, so it was screwed in on an angle, and that's how the windows were supported. But now I've actually got legs on the windows now, so you can see in one of the previous videos, when I put the windowsill in and lifted it up and got it square level as much as I could, the windows actually rest on the windowsill, so they've got a bit of support as well. Along with the aluminium strip on each of the windows, which hooks the bottom in, and then the screws up the top as well. I've done that. They're all supported. It's all, the screws go into the original wood up here, by the way. I've left some of the original wood, which is still screwed into the window up there. But what I've also done is I've also put another frame in here. I'll post a picture just up here in a few minutes. You'll be able to see it up there. But that's what I've done. I've put another. Oh, you've seen it in the panoramic video that I've done before, where the lights are hanging, the brass lights. That's the new, I don't know what you call it, upper windowsill, I don't know what you'd call it. But yeah, I put a new one of those in, and that also supports the windows as well. There's screws coming in from the back of the window frames. Sorry, is it screws coming in from the back of the window? No, there's pieces in between the new board that I put in. I've put beading along the edge, and I've screwed through that. I've screwed it into the top of the normal one that was already up there, the first one, and then I've screwed into the window frame, so that's give more support for the window frames. So when you're driving it back to the caravan site or anything like that, and you're going over bumps and stuff, it's not going to come out. They're not going to fall out on you or drop on you. They're going to be safe and sound and should last you a good while. After that, my brother and my nephew came down. My nephew helped me do the caravan door, the door to the storage at the front of the caravan. Thanks, Leon, mate. Nice one for that. He came along and he helped me with the window frames, the window seals. He helped me a bunch. And putting the window seals in was awkward. You know, you get backache, you get cramp in your legs because it's such a small space. But we put the window seals in, again, as you've seen in a previous video, and it looked great. It looked great with the window seals in, but then the day ran out, time ran out, and I had to go and run a few errands, and he had to get ready for work and everything, so we put what left of the plastic bag that we had, we put back over that. Bearing in mind that plastic bag, by the way, was just one of those plastic bags off a mattress that you can get from any furniture store. It was off a king size mattress. I asked him to put it to one side and he kept it for me, and that's what we used. Nothing special. We finished off the seals, we got everything sorted, we got the window frame sorted, we got the plyboard. Now, there was a gentleman called, I think his name was Robbie Pierce. Thank you for your advice, mate, by saying do every window separate, not all in one piece with the ply. We tried it all in one piece, mate, and it was absolutely freaking ball ache, and I never want to go there again. So what we did is, when we had all the three frames screwed onto the ply, we just cut down the middle of each frame, down the gap of each frame, and then we sanded it off, made it nice, and then put it back up there, and that made it a ton easier, mate. So thank you for that advice, Robbie. That was great. But then we put that in, and then he had to go again because he had work again. So, and then the next day, I came out with my little girl. My little girl was in here. She was watching programs on her tap or something, whatever it was. And I was putting the windows in, and it began to rain. And I wasn't very happy because I was standing out there in a t-shirt and some jeans, and it was raining. And I was trying to put the windows up and get all the sealing gunk on, Sikaflex or Sikaflac or whatever it's called. I had the tube of that, and when I was squeezing it out with the silicone gun, it burst the tube. There must have been a blockage in the end or something, and I really seen my arse about that. So I was literally just scooping it out with my finger and spreading it on the window seals. Fear not though, mother-in-law. It's all worked fine. It's all gone on there, sealed, lovely. It's perfect. There's not a drop of rain coming through. But once again, I'd like to say a thank you to everyone out there who has supported me on Facebook, on YouTube, and any other social media where you see me. Family and friends, thank you, massive thank you to you guys for being patient with me, for helping me. This caravan and this project definitely wouldn't have got done without your help. So thank you to everyone, and please keep your eyes open for season 2, and I'll see you next year.